Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Hey, everybody. It's Tuesday night, and welcome to The Way We See It right here on the FFN Network. I am one of your hosts, Blaze Man, and we got a lot going on tonight. And I'm not going to hesitate to bring the boys in. So without further ado, let's bring in my boy, Mr. D. What's happening, my friend? What's going on?
Present and ready to go, sir. I'm looking for a good show.
Good show, fool. All right,
man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's wind it up.
Right? As always, ladies and gentlemen, as always, there's only one man that can only host this show. There's only one man that can keep this show on its toes. There's only one man, ladies and gentlemen, and us here on The Way We See It and the FFN Network call him only one name, and one name only, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. B, everybody.
Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? It's here from Epping, New Hampshire, home of three of New Hampshire's governors, which I can only name one. Glad to see you, Mr. D and Blazeman. We're going to have a wonderful evening this evening. It's currently about 32 degrees up here, and everything's nice and quiet. So, with all going on, you see my shirt I've got on over here. You know that I don't follow professional sports at all, but trying to prepare for my show tomorrow night, I was trying to get a hold of somebody having to do with maybe what's going on with the Belichick thing or whatever else. But I called them; they couldn't answer the phone simply because there's no ring. Okay.
Man, I just had to throw those crickets out there, brother.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, so we got a pretty good show for every one of you out there today. I'm trying a new concept, trying to get the studio, look a little bit more studio type of situation here. The Biden administration, fellas, has had a situation. Let's see. It says the energy leaders concerned Biden energy department pauses on the liquid fuel, the gas there, LNG. The liquid gas. Have any of you gentlemen have come across an article? And if not, I'm sure we could dig out a quick little article here from the archives. What says you, Mr. B?
I'll be very honest with you. I am not familiar with anything recently having to do with it. The only thing that I do know, of course, is that the Biden administration is very anti-fossil fuels and trying to do whatever they can to eliminate them from us, which would profoundly limit our movement around the nation when we're supposed to be free to go when and where we ever feel like, which is something that's counterproductive to what America is supposed to be. But then again, that's Biden administration and JoJo Jack in the Box.
Right. And Mr. D, are
So
you familiar?
I too, I'm not very versed on the liquid natural gas stuff, but I'd like to piggyback on what Mr. B said in regards to where the Biden agenda is going. And with electric cars, man, we're going through this crawl process, and we haven't even walked with electric cars, and it's going to be a walk. It's a walking nightmare for electric automakers. Case in point, they did smash tests with these cars, and the way the infrastructure is set up, it's not for a car weighing so much as 7,000 pounds. And that's where all these car batteries, the additional weight and stuff. And then some smart scholar on some network made mention our parking buildings, the ones that are made of cement and shit, and cars go in there.
Parking garages.
Yep, the weight ratio is going to be totally off. We just run into pitfalls, and they always say a pitfall will generate some type of service or business for the community. But good God, this country is not ready for this. And why are we going to support China? China's going to have 75% of the batteries they make is now in China. And that's all I have, Blaze. I apologize. I didn't have nothing on CNG, LNG.
Well, follow the money.
I kind of threw that one out to you, but we do have something that it could, help out a little bit, and something for our viewers. Well, we're good.
Follow the money. Follow which one of the people that are over in Washington that are invested in these companies and are waiting for things to peak out, and they're going to wind up selling off just before the crash comes, or maybe just sitting around and waiting for time to sell short the stock, let the bottom fall out, and make a fortune that way, at the expense, of course, to the American people.
Yes, they will. There's that number. If anybody can help us out there right now, number is 508-974-4231. Myself,
I got the
Mr.
boys
B.
stumped, right? So let's let's put this up there, boys. For all of us here, let's go. And we're good at what we do, so we'll get this shit right in the bag. Say pause if you want it paused, and talk and all that fun shit, boys. Here we go.
Well, now there's climate activists are cheering on the Biden administration's pause on pending permits for LNG exports. But energy leaders are warning against Biden's gas export pause. Fox Business's Lydia Hu is live from a gas production site in Amity, Pennsylvania with more. This is an economic story, and it's also a national security story, Lydia.
Yeah, Maria, that's absolutely right. And I had a chance to speak to the CEO of America's largest producer of natural gas. And he says this is absolutely a step in the wrong direction, because liquefied natural gas is a cleaner alternative to coal-fired power plants that are still used around the world. And liquefied natural gas coming from America is relied upon by our allies. The company is called EQT, and it has plans to sell LNG, that's the liquefied natural gas, to international buyers in the future. Before this pause, it was expected that EQT would be able to reach directly that international market for LNG within 3 to 4 years. But with this pause in place on new exports, Maria, there's now uncertainty.
These type of executive orders send a chilling effect through the industries and the investors. You need to have a very secure landscape that's not going to be thrown curveballs, so that investors can have the safety.
Please, man, hold the video, please.
Now, America is the world's top exporter of LNG, and
Let's step back here and and consider exactly what this fellow was talking about and what this lady is also talking about. LNG. Who in the Biden realm of things has been involved with natural gas and LNG and so forth, imports, exports, and whatnot? Hunter Biden. Hello,
Yeah, yeah,
Burisma. And
yes,
by the
thank
way,
you.
where has he been these past few weeks? Where is he? He's walked off the face of the earth, and now suddenly this comes to the foreground.
Yes,
Something smells worse than my ex-wife's armpits, okay? And it's all coming back. It's all coming back, pointed right towards Biden and his family.
Gotcha.
and look before the war started, that line that was going to go through Germany, the one that supposedly blew up
Right, right,
accidentally.
right.
And even the Americans then, Blinken and all those other clowns, made reference. Europe was concerned, thinking they were going to go cold at the onset of this war. Russia was going to shut them down. Where we're going to get all our fossil fuels from? And 80. Look what the screen says. More than 87% of U.S. LNG exports. Exports means you make a product and you ship it out of your country. Went to Europe, the UK. Why? I don't get it. But then I go back to my philosophy is let's drain Saudi Arabia before we drain the United States. And Mr. B makes the claim we have oil for another billion years. Correct, Mr. B?
I don't know about billion years, but we've got enough oil that's underneath us so that our great grandchildren will still be toasty warm.
That's it. All right. Let me
Yeah,
finish
man.
it. Let's finish this off.
Now, America is the world's top exporter of LNG, and the world needs it. You can see U.S. exports of LNG to Europe more than doubled between 2021 and 2023, the very time in which Russia invaded Ukraine and rattled the world's energy security. While this pause does not impact current exports, critics like
Because I should be getting the bell. I just said what this chick said.
Exports leave our allies vulnerable,
and I haven't watched
and
anything. Thank you,
use of
Mr. B.
coal around the world. The White House, on the other hand, says that this pause on new exports is needed so it has time to study the impact of the LNG industry. But there's a chorus of more than 150 Republicans and some Democrats as well that are calling for the immediate reversal of this pause on the exports of LNG.
Well, there you have it, ladies.
As I said before, this is all stuff that's coming back to whoever's got their hands in it, and it's Hunter Biden had his hands in Ukraine and Russia stuff going on over there. And
Yeah,
the
but
gas
why
companies?
But why would Daddy want to shut that down right now?
Because they didn't want to play ball with Hunter, so he's punishing them.
All right, doesn't that go against of what the left is for? Is to stop the whole fossil fuel bullshit.
He doesn't give a fiddler's fart about the left or
Yeah,
stuff.
I understand that,
Fools.
but I don't know.
It just makes another avenue for the monies to slip right in to the Biden's fake LLCs and shell companies they established.
There you go. Bingo.
That's all it is.
Bingo.
That's it, right? That's all.
Yeah, no, but getting back to what that president said, he made, it's kind of shitty when investors, looking at the supply and, they get nervous. Well, dude, all these Americans out here, to include us three here and whoever's listening, we all got that itchy feeling right now. We don't know that the bottom's going to fall out. Am I wrong or right? Please.
Fall out of what? Me. The bottom of what?
The market falling out. I really believe the stock market's going to crash. All this accelerating, going up and stuff. It's just investors buying, and they will sell here real quick.
Where
The
you
stock
getting?
market's
Where?
values are higher than they've ever been in recorded history. And if
But
history
how are you
tells you
getting them?
anything, what goes up comes down.
How are you getting a
I
market crash from just
I'm
this little segment? I don't get that.
because it's energy. Energy has a big part of the stock market, man.
Yeah, I
A
understand
lot
that.
of
Yeah,
investors go.
the phrase "fucking global warming" fucked with it. Then all of a sudden, now you got climate change, and now you're sitting here and you're like, hold on, why is Biden gonna stop production of the very thing that they're all screaming about?
Every
And
bubble bursts. And we are sitting here looking at the world's biggest freaking kid with a bubble gum sticking out of his freaking mouth,
okay, so
waiting
you're
for it to
saying.
go boom.
So are you possibly saying that the Biden administration might be giving up because Trump's poll numbers, and because Trump's been crushing them lately?
They're doing whatever they can to take what they can, and they're going to wind up
That's
leaving
not
scorched
answering
earth
my
behind, my
question. That's
friend.
not answering me. That's not
What do you want to
answering
know?
me.
What do you want to know?
I just asked it. I says the Biden administration, are they quitting?
No,
Quitting on
they're not
No.
quitting. And I was answering the question. They're taking everything they can and getting ready to freaking blow out, because when the big bust comes, they're like, as I said before, they're probably going to be selling short like crazy, like what happened when all the banks collapsed back in the 90s with all the
I
things
don't.
that happened.
Do you gotta explain that to me like I'm a 12-year-old? I don't understand. I don't understand. Go ahead.
12-year-old.
Whatever, man.
Okay.
It's just a statement. Come on.
What, that the stock market? I really
I don't.
believe in what. Go ahead, man. What do you want to know? What do you want me to say? Tell me.
I want. I'm trying to understand. Is the Biden administration quitting? Because again, this is like the top of the notch. This all goes with the whole you know global warming, climate change, all of this like that. What I'm saying is why would Biden stop something that's what they're all for? They don't want to use fossil fuel and all of that. You know what I mean? So burning
No.
natural gas and shit.
No, they don't even want natural gas either, Blaze. It is. I'm sorry. I'm not tracking with you, sir.
No, I'm saying it's
Can I
backwards.
explain something here?
I apologize. I'm
Can I
saying
explain
it's
something here?
backwards. Go ahead, sir.
Biden and his cronies all know that this bullshit about not wanting natural gas and all that fossil fuels is all just that. It's all bullshit. They're just playing along with it. And in the wings, they're sitting around their shell companies and their friends and whatever else, waiting to pounce when the big bust comes from all of these fancy frou-frou, yuppified electric electric generation, this, that, and whatever else pie in the sky garbage blows up their face, and everything goes back to leaning up against fossil fuels. I'm telling you,
What are you
it's
getting
all
bored?
bullshit. They
You getting
know that
bored
it's
over there?
bullshit.
No, I'm thinking.
It's bullshit. They know that it's bullshit, and they are just biding their time.
Say what's on your mind. You know what you was told because you forget. So jump in.
No, because I don't know where you want to go with this. I go to the market, the monies, I follow the monies. You don't want to go there. You want to go to policy. What is it? Is it the, first thing we have to do, we have to identify the party. Is it Biden administration or is it the Biden network?
Administration.
The administration. So who's the Secretary of Energy? It's that female. She used to be a governor. They need to watch her piggy bank after she leaves that post. I really believe she's getting pretty good grease on the rails to slide them monies
Hold
towards
on
other
here.
companies. And Obama did the same thing too.
Right. D, read this out. This is pretty good.
Yes, sir. This message comes from Farkle's World Home Facebook. Well, if it's like the stock exchange, get ready to rely on a drug deal money to keep us afloat.
They're close.
Right?
They're close. Because right
Right?
now what's keeping us afloat is all of the money being spent on weapons and defense, prosecuting wars in how many different zones?
Yes. D?
Yes. When I saw a drug dealer money to keep us afloat, why don't you think the border is not completely closed? And let me bring up the mirage of a lot of people think when they say close the border. The border will never be secured unless there's ground
D,
men
keep
or,
talking, please. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for you seeing my back, but I have to fix something right now. D, go ahead.
Okay. But the drug trade would definitely put an impact on both economies, both the Mexico and the United States. So yes, get ready to rely on a drug dealer money to keep us afloat. I totally agree. It may be not your local level, but it'll be at your regional level.
What are all the things that are needed to combat the drug trade? Of course, you got your military, you've got your police departments and your whatever it is, homeland, this and that, bada bada bada, those crazy things. But also all the other services, all the touchy feely counseling centers trying to get people saying that they're trying to get people off of drugs and all of this stuff, and all of these crazy programs that they've created all over the place. They keep pumping money out, saying that they're giving out free needles and free this and free that and blah blah blah. These are the things that they're counting on. Eventually, whittling us all down into what?
Socialism.
Into what?
Socialism.
Bingo! There you go.
That's the second one. That's my second one today.
Well, you get your second bell?
Yes, sir. The term Volkswagen in German, that means, go ahead, Mr. B. Tell me what Volkswagen means.
Volkswagen, people car, people mover.
Yep. From Mr. Yep, and that was Mr. Hitler's car.
Yeah.
I was seeing similarities with the electric car.
Well, I don't know about Tesla.
Yes. Go on, Mr.
No. Tesla doesn't mean Volkswagen. Same thing Volkswagen means. Tesla's named after, after the physicist, the Italian physicist, which has nothing to do with Volkswagen. So I don't know.
No, the Volkswagen was specifically made for the German people, and that was it. There was no other cars in the market. That the Volkswagen was for the German people that were not Jews.
Yeah, there was that Volkswagen. Their national paper, the Volkischer Beobachter, which is the basically translates into the people watcher, or the watcher of the people. Things of that. Everything there was the people this, the community this, that, and whatever else. And absolutely, you're right. It's all pointing more and more towards pushing us into a socialism stance. All of this.
Yes.
All of it.
Yes. Even that vote that I saw there today, and I was going to try to save this with Donnie when he comes on the show on our second hour, is the Congress. Why don't they just vote on one line item on a bill? Why?
I don't know.
This bill that's up for Congress, it's got Mayorkas in it. It's got the funding for Ukraine. It got the funding for the Israel and the funding for the border. So this just gives an easy out to Joe. Hey, and I believe the total bill is $160 billion, and I believe 60 of it, the big chunk of it, was for Israel or Ukraine. I can't remember. But the point I'm trying to make, it's cosmetic to these politicians, because when they get in their pulpit and they start talking about border, the border's probably going to get 20 billion. They'll say right away, we offered $160 billion to the border, but they don't take the other chunks. Does it make sense?
I'm trying to follow. Yeah,
because nobody pays attention and nobody remembers.
Exactly.
They say, "Oh yeah,
Exactly.
it was 160 billion they passed for that." Oh yeah, sure. And it turns out it was only this, it was only that. And how much of it is all fluff? Remember what happened when they had all those other things that they passed that were these things during the Obama administration that they passed. The what was it, the Obamacare thing and all of that stuff that they passed that had all of these different things that were inside of the initiative that they put through. And remember when Nancy Pelosi says, "Oh, we had a vote for it so we could find out what was inside the bill." Remember that?
Yes.
They spent all of that
Yes.
crazy bullshit money for all of these stupid things like, having people doing studies. Do they have to have 19 dimples in a golf ball in a square inch or something? Whatever it was. Stupid, crazy shit like that. Money spent for absolutely no real good value. And it was just poured into doing stupid studies and all the rest of that stupid crap. I agree with you. If they're going to have something, an initiative, put something forward for the border, then put it for the border and nothing else. If they're going to put something forward to help out someplace else around the world, put through an initiative to vote to help them out and nothing else. Don't tie on somebody's freaking dog collars and this, that, and whatever else, other crazy things.
Right. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, give us a call at 508-974-4231. Again, that's 508-974-4231 right here on The Way We See It. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, in about 3 minutes.
No matter what you are, I will always be with you. Doesn't matter what you do, girl. Ooh, girl, want you. No matter what you are, I will always be with you. Doesn't matter what you do, girl. Ooh, girl, want
that's right. We're back. Welcome to The Way We See It right here on the FFN Network every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We might have somebody, excuse me, we might have somebody jump in to say hello to the audience and to you fine gentlemen down the road. We'll see what happens. With that being said, I gotta break Mr. B's heart. And we do have to show this video, unfortunately, Mr. B. So
Okay.
I just don't want you to get all broke up and everything and all ed up about
All
it
right.
and stuff, you know. So
All right, whatever you got.
all right.
Carl, that's right. An appeals court here in Washington, D.C. has denied former President Trump's sweeping immunity claims as part of the ongoing wrangling surrounding his federal case regarding election interference in 2020.
Shocker.
What we're reading now from the court here in D.C. is today we affirm the denial. For the purpose of this criminal case, former President Trump has become Citizen Trump with all the defenses of any other criminal defendant, but any executive immunity that may have protected him while he served as president no longer protects him against this prosecution. So the appeals court here in Washington saying that the former president's sweeping immunity claims are non-existent. We can expect now that this will be appealed to the Supreme Court. So this doesn't end the legal wrangling, but it is one of the things that has held up the timing of that federal case, which is now sort of in scheduling limbo as they waited to hear what was going to be the resolution of these immunity claims. Now the appeals court has ruled, Carl. We expect at some point it will go to the Supreme Court ultimately to decide on whether the former president of the United States has sort of sweeping immunity from the law that he has asserted. That is the crux of the matter, and it'll be something that the conservative Supreme Court now will be expected to face. Back over to you.
Well, Mr. B, what says you, brother?
I'm having a little bit of a problem processing this particular one. Okay, I can understand now. Right now, he is Citizen Trump or whatever else, but still, anything that may or may not have been done or whatever else that happened while he was president, the man should have presidential immunity for. Same thing like anything else.
So does that fall
While
under?
he was president, and
Is that really?
January the 6th, he was still president. Not that he did anything wrong on January the 6th. I do not believe the man did anything at all to incite riots or this or that, whatever crazy thing it is they've come up with, saying that he was trying to overthrow the government.
I don't buy
or the
it
way the
either.
government works.
I don't
whatever
buy
the
it
damn
either,
thing
B.
is.
I don't buy it either. You know what I mean? I don't buy it.
Do you guys think there was government agents within
the crowd? Yeah.
That so hey, let's go do this, and you think
Yeah.
they egged them on?
Yeah, not in the very beginning. When you seen the gods going up there and really trying to put those metal bars up and enforcing that area, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, for a little while, hour or so goes by, then all of a sudden, you know, these other agents, these other agents fucking come along and automatically it's like, open this. Oh, okay, come on. There's video out there, but he's fucking saying, come on.
Pelosi was told they were expecting trouble, and if they expected trouble that bad, mobilize the National Guard, and she thumbed her nose at it. Turned around and she went and she got her hair done or whatever the hell it is, and drank another vodka. That's all.
Yeah.
And don't
hey,
forget
ladies
the
and
ice
gentlemen,
cream.
before we continue, we're going to bring on a special guest tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Flacco, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Flacco, I'm not sure if you're aware that you have a black screen, and that's fine. Can you hear us, Mr. Flacco? Because we cannot hear you. Mr. Farco, and if all possible, type in that you can hear us on a private message. Mr.
Enable your
Mr.
camera. Enable.
Farco. Okay. Other sounds in the background don't help me trying to get audio from somebody. All right. With that being said, so go ahead, continue, D.
No, I concur with Mr. B's statement, and this J6 really gave Trump a black eye, man. I truly believe Trump did not organize this. I believe the federal government organized this with their infiltrated agents. There's a lot of data out there on the internet of these two black buses coming in with government plates and all this stuff.
Yes.
But I have to go back, just sitting at the fence and looking at these guys. Good God.
Busloads of agitators as well.
Yes, but good God, they dressed for battle, man. What really threw me off was the guillotine or whatever they used to hang what they wanted to do with Mike Pence. That right. I'm lost for words there, man. I really am. I truly believe Trump's coming back, so you can relax, Mr. B. I'm not gonna dog out the man.
No, go ahead.
No, this country needs somebody like him right now. We honestly do. I was kind of young for Ronald Reagan to figure him out, understand him, where he was coming from. Wasn't my generation. But if it ain't Trump, we need a Reagan, and we don't have a Reagan in sight. And I yield.
I would concur. We don't have a Reagan in sight. And you know what? The time for Reagan has long passed. We needed Trump because Reagan was too nice. Trump.
Well,
I'm going to say it. Trump is a nice guy, but he isn't nice. He does. He conducts business, and sometimes business you have to be a son of a bitch, and Trump can do exactly that. And you know what? People don't like him because of that. Tough shit. At least he gets the work done, and he puts the country
let me put you on,
where it belongs.
Let me put you on hold here real quick, ladies and gentlemen. We got a little special guest that pops in to the show once in a great while, and used to be a panel on Down the Rabbit Hole. And do we have another name of a show before the Rabbit Hole?
Yes, I'm trying to think right now.
You know, don't give it away, because I'd like to use it as to give away a prize.
Okay.
So type it to me in a private chat. I'd appreciate that.
Okay, but I don't remember. I'll do my research, though.
All right. I appreciate it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in an old friend of the shows, in Mr. Farco.
Hey.
How are you, sir?
Well?
How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing? Can you hear me all right this time?
Oh, yeah. We got you video, audio. You're great. How was
right.
your holiday, sir?
Everything was good. You know, typical holiday stuff. How
Right.
was y'all? Well, y'all talked about your holidays, so
Yeah.
the only one I'm wondering about is what's the lucky man you're spending Valentine's Day with, Blaze?
I didn't hear. I swear to God, I didn't hear. I was reading this comment. I didn't hear. This one's for you, D-Man. Read that out.
Yes. So this
we don't need a backstory. Just read it out.
Yeah, Demas, why so negative about Trump? Have faith.
There you go. Why, D?
I do have. It's just a corrupt system
So
that
you're saying you're
Trump's
voting
going
for him.
against.
You're saying you're voting for him this year?
Yeah, man, and I've said before on this show, I would never vote for Trump.
You
And I
changed
said
your
that.
mind?
Oh yeah, this country needs it, and I'm not the only one that's changed your mind. I listen to a lot of liberal radio shows. People are fed up, man. People are fucking straight up fed up, and the migrants, I think, is the cherry on top.
So
That's
what's
going
the
to make
name
the
of this liberal
Republicans.
show? Liberals do have a brain?
No,
Because
no,
if you got
it's
liberals flipping and saying Trump, you know,
well,
listen to what I'm saying. They're switching to Trump. You know, that just tells me that they're not crazy flip Todd Trump haters, you know, screaming and on their hands and knees saying, "No," you know.
Well, were they
no.
ever really Trump haters?
I don't know. No.
Don't you need to really know something about somebody in order to hate them?
Yes.
No. You know why, Faco? Because everybody who talks shit about the man now used to want to be him.
There's a black
You know?
governor somewhere that went on national television, and he said everybody loved Trump until he came down that escalator.
Right.
Yes.
Once he came down that escalator, that's when the man who gave the woman the first ever capability of drawing the blueprints for a skyscraper became sexist. The one who's been nominated in 1998 or 88 when Harlem and given the award
Rainbow.
for most things done by somebody who contributed the most to the black community. He became racist that day. You know, he became everything that day. I'm pretty sure he became my father. Can I identify as a Trump and collect some of that money?
Yeah. Hey, Derek, give the show a call, man. 508-974-4231, man. We'd like to hear from you, brother.
But if I could digress for 1 second.
Digress. Go right ahead. Just don't do it on
Only because I have utter respect for the man, and I think it's bullshit that he got murdered in his fucking hotel room, and I do believe he got murdered in his hotel room because they could not find any of his fucking ideas and blueprints or any of that shit afterwards. Mr. B, the gentleman's name that you were talking about earlier for the vehicle would be Nikola Tesla. Yeah, Nikolai Tesla.
It's not Nikolai, Nicola. Nikolai is Russian, Nicola Italian.
But
all right.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and we got to bring in the one and only, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Donald.
Hey, Sade.
What's going
on? How y'all doing?
Oh, God damn it.
And I'm going to pull, honey.
Hold on a minute.
Say what now?
Hold on a minute, Donnie.
He said, "How you doing, Hayseed?"
Go ahead, Donnie. Could you speak, please?
Okay, can you hear me or what?
Oh, no. We hear you perfectly. But your volume is super loud. Not a big deal. I fix it every night. I just, go ahead, speak.
Just in your modulation.
Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah, you're great, brother. How are you tonight, Donnie? How are you?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
We're doing
Sorry,
well.
I'm late.
So we're talking about, Trump with his little appeal denial and that fun stuff there, sir. And who had the floor? Who had the floor? Mr. Faco is here tonight. Donald.
Hey, Chris.
So who had the floor? It was Faco, right?
Faco had the floor.
Yes.
All right, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just digressing for a second about Nicola.
I said not on camera.
What? No scratching your balls on camera?
No. Go ahead, finish, bro.
Oh, that was it.
Okay. All right, Donald. Go ahead, brother. I love it. I love it. Go for it, bro.
So I want to know is how is he going to run this country from a prison cell or house arrest at the White House? Because Al Capone, he's going to be another Al Capone. You can talk all this shit you want to talk about. 14th Amendment, insurrection, blah, blah, blah. You ain't going to find him guilty of none of that shit. You tried to impeach him twice and you couldn't do it. You're not going to find him guilty in court of law. What you will find him guilty of is running some corrupt business bullshit and making some money. Okay, got it. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because there's all these, like I read a report today from CNN and Politico. There's a law professor out of California, Berkeley, and he specializes in constitutional law, and he flat out said it too in his thing. And there's nothing in the Constitution that says you can't be serving jail time and still be president. So unless they're ready to make an amendment to the Constitution because Trump wins, and then you damn sure know that's going to court because that's fucking illegal as shit. So let's all get prepared to have a criminal run our country, and a convicted criminal run our country no different than the cartels and everybody we talk shit about.
All right, Mr. B, Mr. B, there's 5 of us, sir. We're going to have to start using that H. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah.
You got excited.
Look at it this way. There's more security when you're president than there is in a federal penitentiary.
Yeah, I know. He ain't going nowhere.
Who's gonna give a shit?
Exactly. Because at the end of it, what are you going to do? By the time you finish the amendment to change the Constitution, hell, he's 2-3 years into his presidency. He's a lame duck president any damn way. So you might as well just let him get the rest of the shit over with, then we don't deal with him ever again.
Flacco.
Until we get Junior in there. But
Get Junior in where?
Trump Jr. was a joke.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Flacco.
No, I was just gonna point out, like, running for the presidency. Mr. B just mentioned it. Running for, like, why couldn't he do it? Like, you got shot callers in prison that still run the streets from inside the prisons. Why couldn't he run the country from inside the White House?
Well, of course we know it could be possible, but it just wouldn't be allowed. I mean,
That's who. There's nothing stopping it. That would be unprecedented. You can't say this or that because it's unprecedented. Nobody's ever done it before. So there's no rules. Just like we learned from January 6th. Something unprecedented. We don't know if it's bad or good until 3 months later when they want to charge everybody after they actually put laws in to charge them for what they did afterwards.
Right. So, Donald, I'm going to let you go right after D reads this comment. Come on, D.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for a video right now. Sorry. Okay, the next one comes from Spanky Bro 69. Howdy, folks. Got a question for y'all here. What's the deal with all these pronouns and he, she, they, malarkey? I went into the store the other day and this man said he's a she. What's this world coming to? Who wants to go first?
Anybody want to answer that?
Mental fucking illness. That's what it's about.
It's about what?
Mental illness.
Mental illness.
How do you think?
Yeah, Donnie.
How do you put mental illness to somebody wanting to cross-dress, dress different than what the norm has always been? How do you put that to mental illness?
See, that to me, that ain't the mental illness part. That ain't the mental illness part. The mental illness part is when they're trying to tell me that they're a girl when they were a boy. That's the mental illness part because that's where the delusion of grandeur comes into play. If they want to people wear kilts. That we Americans bust Scottish for wearing skirts for that shit. That ain't no big thing. It's when they start saying, well, what did my kids say? They, them. They were explaining it to me because I asked this question the other fucking day to them. Like, what is this shit? Like, how do you do it? Like, how do you break it down to he, she, but they, them?
B, go.
It's very simple to answer this question. Archaeologists, over the periods of time, have been digging up remains for thousands of years and finding males and females, and nothing else. Ladies and gentlemen, these days are having these parties where they have gender reveals. Pink for a girl, blue for a boy, and nothing else. Why is it that's all there is until liberals get out there and start shaking their fanciful ass all over up one side and down the other, saying there's 962 and three-quarter different genders, and only keep coming up with bones of males or females. It's all a crock of shit.
Mr. D.
The H. Oh, I'm sorry. So we're talking about these pronouns and shit, and some pronoun. I mean, a pronoun would be it as well. And I remember back in the day that was kind of a derogatory term that was used. You know, to it. How can you relate that to an individual?
It has a name.
Yes, man. It back in our younger days. Those were little fighting words. Oh, but no, I'm showing too masculinity. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
you're
let
a
me
bully.
calm down.
You're
Yeah,
a bully.
Let me calm down. Let me
You better
calm
stop
down.
right now. Right? We're gonna be kicked
Right.
off here. I mean, you can't say shit like that. Listen, for me, everything is taught at home. I don't know any other way to say it. If your kid's a little badass kid, he or she, because they see it at home.
You can't say that.
No, exactly, Crispy.
Why?
I'm
What do you
sorry,
mean?
Blaze.
Well, listen, I'm
Hey.
not. Listen, you ain't let me finish now, because of course they can be influenced from school.
All right.
I understand
There's
that.
other places too. Jeffrey Dahmer didn't learn any of that shit and become that way from school.
Yeah,
So
but Jeffrey
also
Dahmer,
states that
Jeffrey
his
Dahmer
parents
also
were
at the age
very
of
well
fucking
respected.
Jeffrey Dahmer also at the age of 5 and 6 was already fucking killing his first cat. You know what I mean? So
A lot of kids kill animals when they're young. It's actually more common than you would believe.
I don't know. I'd have to see statistics on that. That's a good thing to look up. I'd like to see statistics on that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 of us here that could look that up right now. Anyways, let's see. That would be Flacco. And then we go right to Donald. Flacco, you're up.
As far as it goes, though, it's like insane because, like D said, it used to be derogatory. I always thought that calling a woman a broad was derogatory, but I was just informed the other day that it's not. But as my mother would say, don't call her a broad. This whole thing is crazy and shit, but I lost my track of hand because I was actually looking up that statistic.
Right. Donald, go, brother.
Okay, so all the pronoun stuff, my man, what was his name again that had the comment? Something spanky butt for your 69 or something?
He, she, they.
Right. Well,
Malaki,
let's get into it.
Go ahead, Donnie. I'm sorry.
No, it's about money at this point in our the way we live in our society. It's about dollars. Because think of this. This is the way I see a lot of this. When we come up with all this new pronoun and gender and we make all these new laws, we have to have new programs, and new programs need to be funded. And then we need to create tax opportunities out of those fundings. So for me anymore, it's just about dollars. And the influence that comes from society and all the rules. Because to me, I think we allow the immigrant to come and we lower our standards so we can make it easier instead of enforcing the standard and making everybody achieve a standard. That's where I think the problem comes. And the easier we make it and the more that we make a policy or we make a group about it, a support network, the more opportunities for money.
Right.
Whether it's grants or loans, and it's more opportunities for taxpayer dollars.
Right. Mr. B, 30 seconds.
The question has been asked now, how can one person be a they? And I can answer that. There are two ways that one person could be a they. Number one, they have Siamese twins, or number two, schizophrenia.
But
Okay, so Mr. D, 30 seconds.
you want to bring up that message, or you want me to?
Yeah, read that shit off real quick.
And this one
I'm
comes
popping
from
it right now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, Spanky Bro 69. Mr. B already answered the first question. Was how can one person be a they? Question mark, exclamation point. That don't make no sense, brothers. It's all about these libtards ruining America and making us turn our backs on each other. It's got a point there. These libtards want us to cower in fear, but we won't be silence. Also, what's the deal with? I can't see it.
Nothing. Let's see.
What's the deal with these Africans
Yeah.
playing white historical figures? They want to rewrite our history. Whoa.
Wait, well, which one did they do?
Yeah.
Wait,
Also,
say that
what's
again?
the deal?
All right, so we'll answer that question after we come back from our break. You can also, you sound like an interesting character, man. You can give us a buzz at 508-974-4231. Again, call us at 508-974-4231. And we'll be right back right after this break in about 3 minutes.
No matter what you are, I will always be with you. Doesn't matter what you do, girl. Ooh, girl, want you. No matter where you go, I will always be around. Won't you tell me what you found, girl? Ooh, girl, want you. Knock down the old gray wall. Be a part of it all. Nothing to say, nothing to see, nothing to do. If you would give me all, 'cause I would give it to you. Nothing would be, nothing would be, nothing would be. No matter where you go, there will always be a place. Can't you see it in my face, girl? Ooh, girl, want you. Knock down the old gray wall. Be a part of it all. Nothing to say, nothing to see, nothing to do. If you would give me all, 'cause I would give it to you. Nothing would be, nothing would be, nothing would be. No matter what you are, I will always be with you. Doesn't matter what you do, girl. Ooh, girl, want you. Ooh, girl, you, girl, want you. Ooh, girl, you, girl, want you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sticking around for more of The Way We See It right here on the FFN Network. I'd like to introduce the boys again. You're bombarding the shit out of me with this private chat stuff already. Mr. D, to my left, your right on your screen, and Mr. B to my right, your left on the screen. Of course, Mr. Paco on Mr. Donald, and of course myself, Blaze Man, right here on The Way We See It. So, does anybody want to continue? And this person is reaching out to us from Twitch, by the way. Just say it, please. You don't got to type it.
No,
I
there's
know
I want
the music during the break it sucks already. I know I gotta
Hey,
work
so
on that.
what was the final question that was
I
right
have
before the
good
break? I didn't
I
hear
got a
that.
question real quick. Yo, Sparky, what role did a black man take of white history?
Wait a minute, man. We gotta read this here.
Well, that was the last question I asked
light
before.
that up.
Okay. So the last question is also, what's the deal with these Africans playing white historical figures? They want to rewrite our history.
Right.
Period.
Okay. So go ahead, Donald.
No, say that again. With black figures playing white. What do you?
Okay, so what do you think about Africans, even though I'm assuming he means African Americans playing Caucasian historical figures? I don't know. Maybe there's a black guy playing Hitler somewhere.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me there. What so, historical figures? What is it? Here we go. You're bitching about racism, but you just as racist as the people you fucking bitching about. That's the question that really gets to me right there. What are they taking away? We're letting them take away that the Civil War was over slavery. Well, I was taught differently. And there's scholars and there's historians out there that will teach you, that will tell you the same. It was about southern states wanting to govern themselves. They didn't want to be taxed by the North. No different than we fought the Revolutionary War about not wanting to be taxed by the motherfuckers in Britain or whatever, bro. Slavery was a byproduct of it. Was slavery wrong? Yes. Do I need to still be blamed for it, even though I don't even have family members I can trace back to a time before when slavery was, allowed? My family wasn't even in the United fucking States. And let's understand that slave trade was a global fucking network in the 18th, 17th, 16th century. So stop all the bullshit. Get over it. It's been damn near 2 centuries. Shut the fuck up about that shit already. And if you're mad about so-called history being changed, then go do something about preaching it better.
What's up?
It says, go get him, D. Read it away, buddy.
Oh, Derek out of Louisiana. Seems like Hillary struck again. Heard Toby Keith died. Another great Republican gone.
February 5th, stomach cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toby Keith.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, hell, Toby Keith.
But
well, hey, look, you can't flip out on fucking somebody's the way they think, man. I mean,
nah, Blaze. No, this really gets, because we bitch about, they're changing it. Well, then go do something about preaching it right, or showing the facts that, no, this is where some other people beg and differ. But it goes back to the simple fact that you're bitching about people, but yet you won't even take the time to hear their fucking reasoning or their opinion. So how are you any different than the people you're fucking bitching about?
I can agree with that. Yes, sir. I can agree with that. Let's see. What are we doing on time? All right, just came back from break, so we're good. All right, boys. Let's hit it. And give me about Mr. B, sing us a song here. Something from the old days.
No, hold up. Stop. No, we don't need no talk. Let's talk about the Middle East real quick.
Hold on. That's
talk about that shit real quick.
We're working here. Hold on, buddy.
No, you're too slow, man.
Okay.
I want to know. Come on, guys.
Look,
come on. Hey, come on. Let's talk about this real quick. I need opinion flow.
Hey. All right, here we go.
So together with Qatar and Egypt, we put forward, as you know, a serious proposal that was aimed at not simply repeating the previous agreement, but expanding it. As the Prime Minister just said, Hamas responded tonight. We're reviewing that response now, and I'll be discussing it with the government of Israel tomorrow. There's still a lot of
About that break, it's going in a second.
work to be done, but we continue to believe that an agreement is possible and indeed essential, and we will continue to work relentlessly to achieve it. The most effective path forward right now to get an extended period of calm and to work toward an end to the conflict is through an agreement on the hostages. And that's what we're intensely focused on with our partners here in Qatar, Egypt, working with Israel. And of course, now that we have the response from Hamas to the proposal that was put on the table a week or so ago, we're going to be very intensely focused on that. And again, that offers the prospect of extended calm, hostages out, more assistance in. That would clearly be beneficial to everyone, and I think that offers the best path forward. But there's a lot of work to be done to achieve it. We're very focused on doing that work.
So
Can you
Biden
recap real quick. I don't know anything about that.
Okay, so Biden said that the proposal was too steep. Anybody care to elaborate on that information?
What was the proposal? I didn't hear anything about what the proposal entailed other than a focus around hostages. So what did they propose?
We dealt with the proposal with positive spirits, Hamas said. Stressed the response was given after all internal consultations inside the group were concluded. Hamas said it still demands that any hostage deal includes a comprehensive ceasefire that would end the war in Gaza and lead to a reconstruction effort and the lifting of the siege. Israel's not going to go for that. Israel wants Hamas fucking gone out of Gaza. Guys, I'm not going to read
who the hostages belong.
I'm not going to read your.
If I can get a word in edgewise, I'd appreciate
Put it in there. All I see is I don't see you.
I keep putting H.
Really?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been putting H.
Go ahead.
This guy, we've heard about the yuppified newspeak, an extended period of quiet. Horse shit. It's another way of turning around and saying, oh, they want another ceasefire. Well, they want to make a ceasefire. They don't want to call it a ceasefire because then it's a ceasefire. So now what? Oh, an extended period of quiet. No. You know what? And I've said it before and I'll say it again. The world needs to step the fuck back, let Israel do what they're doing, get it done and over with, and be done. The people that are hostages should have been written off a long time ago because most of them aren't coming back alive. Or if they do come back alive, they're going to wish that they had gotten killed because it's going to live with them for the rest of their lives and ruin the lives that they're living.
Anybody else?
Well, okay, I got, it does take a toll on them. I can't say I know what being a hostage is like, so I'm not going to go on that route, but I'm pretty sure it's bad. I don't think a lot of what they say is true when it comes to Hamas and how many hostages they have, but I kind of have to agree with Mr. V. And this goes for me is it's a bigger question about even Syria, Iraq, everywhere else we're in, Africa and all these places. When are we going to maybe step back and look and say, what's the objective? Because Hamas isn't going to go away. They're just looking for a way to rebuild or get refurbished, resupplied, so they can keep doing other shit. So that's going to be an ongoing thing forever. So just when are we going to step back and evaluate what's best for the interest of the United States, to keep meddling in this shit, or maybe we step back and play, proxy funder and let them duke it out amongst all themselves, and let them all figure out, let it fall where it falls.
All right. So, Donnie, this is for you now. We got to handle this as gentlemen. You say you're part of the deal, and then we're going to move on. D, you want to read that?
All right. We don't want to get Derek's first, huh? We want to go right to Spanky.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I
Put it in a fuck
apologize. Let's go to Derek. Which one? Preach, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah. Donnie, this is when you were talking about shit, man. Guys, help me out.
Read it.
Bro, I never held a whip, and these fuckers don't have scars on their backs. In other words, they weren't a slave. These people aren't slaves either living today.
What are you reading?
Yes,
Derek.
we got it. All right.
D,
Then the
read
next.
Derek.
Yeah, give me Derek. I think one thing people forget is we work for food, housing, medical, etc. We're not called slaves. So tell me, what's the difference between then and now? They work to live. And the last one, this one comes from Spanky again. And it starts off, hold your tongue, boy. You want to run your mouth to me, but I'm here having the discussion and listening, and you just want to shout and cuss. You sounded like a woman, boy. No, he's not a woman, boy.
Okay, whatever.
All right. Okay.
Lord,
Whatever.
wait a minute.
Again. Read it.
Lord Thomas Randolph, ambassador of Queen Elizabeth I, was portrayed by Adrian Lester, was portrayed by a black man. We've had a black Joan of Arc and a black Achilles, a black Julius Caesar, and it's just simply inaccurate, and that's what I don't like. So if you want to keep running your mouth, send me your location.
All right, Donnie, you can respond. You can respond. You can respond, Donnie.
Okay, Hayes High School is my location. But nothing was personal, so I don't know why you took it personal. The whole point is exactly my point about racism. You brought color into a situation that had no color in the first fucking place. That's where I say stop being part of the problem and try to be part of the solution. Sorry if my French wasn't the best, my English wasn't the best for you. I apologize. But that's what I'm saying where it gets aggravating. We do it to ourselves, but yet we try to point blame. No, we do it to ourselves. How much of the human body, I can't remember, but a lot of the human body, genetically, we are all the same. So you can go back to the thing about Adam and Eve. We all came from one mother. So then we're all family and we treat each other like shit.
Pretty much.
So that's where we're going with this. Stop with bringing color into it. Because if color, when you bring that into it, it just creates the racism.
Exactly.
But, hey, whichever way, man.
Go ahead, Flacco.
All right, so I totally agree with Donnie on that, and Morgan Freeman totally agrees on him with that too. You don't have to say white man, black man, he's a man, ain't he? That's to follow up with Donnie. But as far as this dude saying, dude, that's an England problem. That's an England problem. You got to deal with your shit over there, like not for nothing. He is right. They just did the Queen, and so this dude knows I know what I'm talking about. This Queen married this king. I forget the king's name and the Queen's name, but she couldn't produce offspring. And the king wanted a
So we
son.
chopped their
So
head
in
off.
order for him to get her divorced from her, he had her killed, and it was a queen, white queen, and she was actually just recently portrayed as a black woman in there. So the dude is right, but what he's talking about is stuff that's coming out of England in their films. That's why we don't know about it. But 100%
Then we
agree with
should be
Donnie.
educated
Race
then.
wasn't put in to begin with.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. B.
I'm just kind of wondering if what you're talking about was Henry VIII.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The six wives of Henry VIII. He lopped heads off of or killed how many different ones, and unfortunately, I mean that's something that's of history. Now, if someone puts on some sort of a theatrical production, it depends on whoever the director is or the person who chooses to cast which person for what role. I don't care what color the person is. Can they deliver the lines? And can they play the part so that it's believable? That's all. I don't care.
Supposed to be
I mean,
historical.
if you have a white Julius Caesar or a black Julius Caesar, I don't freaking care. The guy gets stabbed to death. So what? You stab a white Julius Caesar or a black Julius Caesar, he's still going to bleed, keel over, say "et tu, Brute," and die.
Well, I didn't hit an H, but I'd like to add a little something on this if I possibly can. And I see the color representations to the actors and stuff like that, and we're getting fed this through the media. Just look at your commercials. Look, just turn on the TV. They're wanting us to assimilate, and I'm not saying that color. I'm more talking about give me a minute, sex ideology. And I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it, and that's what happens. These kids are seeing this. It's on TikTok. It's on YouTube. It comes up a commercial. They're just shooting these kids this way. I'm listening. What's up, Crispy?
Oh, I'm sorry. The comment that was made in the comments
says y'all faggot. They made Little Mermaid black too.
Yes, and it's but this is just pushing us to a society
but the
where
most
there's
stupidest part about that,
freedoms. Go ahead, Crispy.
Mr. D. The stupidest part about that, right, is the king had 7 daughters, 1 for each seat. So Ariel was actually, like, I would say, like the I forget what sea it is, but like the Red Sea and stuff, like up near England and all that, like in that area. That's actually where that is, like right between Africa and Italy and stuff. That's where Ariel was. The most funniest thing is that everybody had a problem with Ariel being black instead of white, right?
Right.
Could you imagine if they actually were intelligent and they thought about the interracial concept of it?
Yeah. Okay.
For all the racist people complaining that Ariel was black.
Donald, I apologize for the Little Mermaid story. You're up, buddy. Go ahead.
No, I mean, just everybody's talking about you bring color with. If you don't like it, turn it off. You don't have to listen to it. You can do something else.
It's a strong case to argue on this show. Especially for Donald. How listen,
did we get to this from the Middle East?
Especially for Donald. You know what I mean? Because I get his point. It's to argue about it is fucking stupid, because if you don't like it, just turn it off. We all get that. I'm pretty sure we all agree with it. But unfortunately, in the comment section and some calls that we get or whatever, people don't see it that way. Mr. B, go ahead.
I can't believe we're sitting here in our world situation where JoJo Jack in the Box, our president, is being a lame duck responding to people where 3 of our service persons were killed, and we're talking about a half woman, half fish being black or white. The hell do I give a shit about that for? Let's talk about the real good stuff here.
We don't, Mr. B. That's what I was just explaining. Unfortunately, people, it bothers fucking people. Donald, go.
Well, that's what I want to get into, is about the Middle East. About we just took home 3 people, and they came home in coffins and flags, and now they just retaliated with more attacks, and the attacks are just escalating. So what's the purpose? What is our purpose over there anymore?
I don't know, but I have to ask a question.
Shit.
It's a pretty meaningful question, and it's about them 3 caskets coming home, and I totally agree, and I felt some more pride for the military, a little bit more than I was feeling before at the fact that they made those two PFC sergeants, because don't their family gets a little bit more money from that, right? Because they
Correct.
excuse
Yes,
me.
Donnie.
Oh,
The
okay.
casualty assistance, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So they get more money because they were upgraded to sergeant,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay, well that's a good thing, right? You know what I
Yes.
mean? And that's what
I
you know,
don't have the amount. I mean, if you want the dollar amount, you'd have to give me a while to figure that out.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not saying they were like a fucking E4 or E7. I mean, you know, just
The military. It's
I don't know, guys. I mean, just
It's
teach
a-
me. Don't discourage me. I don't know. Go ahead, Donald.
No, I'm just wondering how many lives are we gonna let go before we say enough's enough and we go either take action and completely do what we need to do, or we just
Because
gotta
if
keep
we
going back and
because if
forth. I mean, what does going back and forth do? It doesn't seem to solve anything.
nothing. It doesn't do nothing. So something's gonna happen, and I agree with you 1,000%. You know what I mean? But we got to be prepared for war. D, go.
It fuels the military industrial complex. That's what it does. I really believe that. And Biden is playing on a low key, but he's ready to expand this. You expand it, you get more. Like you guys always say, it generates money. That's it. And I yield.
Well, with that being said,
Crispy had an age
yep,
up.
Faco.
Honestly, I don't think I don't think Biden administration is gonna do shit. Honestly, I think they're gonna let it. They know that they're not bringing it home. They know. The Democrats are not bringing it home. I know plenty of Democrats right now pissed off that are voting Republican. I think what they're gonna do is the same thing that they did at Trump's.
I got to tell you right now, this election is going to be, there's going to be eyeballs fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's going to be
eyeballs last time.
It's going to be a little
Biden
bit.
had a wire on his thing.
It's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit tough for some cheating to happen. Before we go to break, let's just check this out.
Country music star Toby Keith has died at the age of 62.
A post on social media from early this morning says, quote, Toby Keith passed away peacefully last night, surrounded by his family. He fought his fight with grace and courage. Please respect the privacy of his family at this time. Back in June 2022, Keith revealing he'd been battling stomach cancer for the last 6 months and was receiving chemo, radiation, and surgery. Tommy Lahrens, an Outkick host.
So, Toby Keith, you know what I mean? No longer with us. That guy it goes to show you what cancer does to your body, man. It just does. It's crazy, But when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk a little bit about the border, and we are going to talk a little bit about Taiwan. So stick around. Of more the way we see it right here on the FFN network, and we'll be right back.
No matter what you are, I will always be with you. Doesn't matter what you do, girl. Ooh, girl, want you. No matter where you go. I will always be around. Won't you
happen. People have to confront that our society is being ripped apart.
It was a battle at the border today. A caravan traveling from across the country made their way to San Diego this morning, all in an effort to raise awareness on issues at our border.
Now, a group opposing that message also traveled to the border to make sure the community heard their message as well. CBS 8's Esmeralda Perez spoke to both groups about their concerns.
The group Take Back Our Border drove thousands of miles here in San Isidro as part of a nationwide rally to address border security. Meanwhile, counter-protesters want to spread the message of liberation to all people. Red, white, and blue filled the San Isidro athletic area as more than 100 people made their way here as part of the Take Our Border Back convoy.
Good days of America didn't bring us here. It's the bad days, it's the bad happenings that brought us here.
The group started in Virginia Beach and traveled cross-country to address the nation's border security and call for the end to illegal immigration. Today's rally came as part of a nationwide effort with convoys also gathering at the border in Texas and Arizona.
But everybody's aware that this is a threshold of line crossed beyond just regular people coming.
Narek is one of several people who showed up to make their voices heard on issues that concern them.
Countries' borders are wide open and there is all sorts of people coming in, and like President Trump would say, they're not sending their best.
The opposing group RevCon made their way to the San Isidro port of entry from Los Angeles this morning in opposition of Take Our Border Back.
Our message today is we don't have an immigration problem, we have an imperialism problem. When we say imperialism, we mean a system that is dominating all over the world.
Michelle Chai is a leader for RevCon Los Angeles. She tells me RevCon is calling on people to stand up on issues happening within the immigration system.
Right? The fact that they are, the fact that they're doing this as part of their larger, quote unquote, Make America Great Again.
Several people who were crossing into Mexico this morning heard their message.
Ningún ser humano es ilegal.
No human is illegal is what was chanted, a statement this group hopes to spread in the community.
To call forward all the people that don't want to live in this kind of world where immigrants are made into less than human. Right?
Esmeralda Perez, CBS 8.
Donald.
Oh, the immigration thing, I'm both ways on it. I agree, yeah, no human is illegal, but that's not what is meant by being an illegal. It means you're here in the country illegally. That's all it means. It's it's a status. It doesn't mean it's talking to you as a person. I just believe people take stuff too personally sometimes. But we got to have some point to understand that we don't have the resources to deal with all this. And I know it sucked where your country you came from, but when you don't have resources, you don't have resources. What do you expect to happen? I really don't get where they're going to put all these people and how they're going to help them.
Okay, Mr. B.
Come on.
No, they're not illegals. They're dreamers. No, let's not call them illegals. Let's call them whatever we possibly can so that it normalizes them. It makes it, they're not illegal. They're not criminals. No, they're, you know what? I prefer the term wetback. Okay?
That's a tough term. That would get you knocked out in fucking California. I'll tell you that right now. Mr. Flacco.
They got a lot of water in California. That's their problem.
Right now it is. Mr. Flacco, you care to elaborate on your comment?
On my comment? No, I was just putting that there. I finished my thought. As far as it goes with the border control and the shit that's going on, I stand with Texas.
Okay. Mr. D.
I too stand with Texas, Crispy.
America.
Yes, sir. This migration thing that's happening, invasion, imperialism, whatever. This is a big conversation in the election cycle that's going to be happening here. And as you've probably seen in your local communities, migrants hanging around and all this other good shit. And I just want to make one more comment before I go further in my little dialogue here, is that all these migrants that are coming from the southern border, yeah, they're coming through Mexico. The cartels are getting paid, but these ain't Mexican folks, man. Mexico doesn't want nothing to do with the United States right now. No, and
Bingo.
I heard a radio show this morning, local here, and I got a little perturbed. I was going to call in, but it's all good, and I just wanted to use my platform. The migrants that are coming here are not good people. They're military-aged men. We seen what they did in New York. They got busted in Arizona. They'll be in jail there, not like they did in New York City.
So they got out of California?
They never made it to California. They made it to Arizona. Their mode of transportation was the old Greyhound. But I just, go ahead, Donnie.
I believe there was a lady from some church or something where they were giving out stuff and processing. She recognized them on a video and she gave up the license plate of the bus, and that's how they found them.
Good lady.
I read there was some article I was saying something about that I was reading, if I remember right.
Because what them little gang members did with the fingers and kiss my ass signs and all this shit, man, really perturbed the American public, man. And wow, I flew out of a port. I flew out of El Paso, so there was migrants at the airport, and I've come to believe just what they wear, that they are getting supplemental income monthly.
Sorry,
and
fellas.
the supplemental income. These guys, again, middle-aged men, wearing Nikes, Air Jordans, not the bullshit, me and you wear, but the 300, the 500 ones. Cell phone, talking shit on the phone, waiting for their flight to get on Chicago. And I yield. I
All right.
yield.
Yeah, guys, we got the Faco, you up. You got a minute.
I've seen the videos. I've seen them. They definitely. I was just trying to look that up. They definitely are getting assistance. They've been getting assistance for years. You watch the videos. They all have the same sneakers. They all have the same blanket. They all have the same bags. Now, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I'm pretty sure that everybody's not going to buy the same ass shit. You got 5 people in this room, and each one of us pretty much has a different jacket or a different shirt on. But yeah, every single migrant is going to be carrying the same shit. They're giving this stuff on their journey. They get, all right, come on, people, keep it going, keep it going. I lived on the beach in Revere. We had MS-13. Like, America, unless you live in like bad areas and shit, like, America has no idea what the fuck they're opening themselves up to MS-13. MS-13 don't give a about how much money you bring in. It's not like the Crips, the Latin Kings, any of that with their people on the hill. Their
They'll send
leaders are
people
in
to your house
prison
to
for
chop
life.
you up with machetes, man.
They excel in their rank simply for being more gruesome than the other one. We had them in Revere. They would legit walk into parties with machetes and kill people with machetes right in front of everybody. Not one person would ever snitch him out of complete fear that the whole gang was going to show up at their house
Right.
and kill their entire family.
Right. Donald?
Like, back in the day, you got the Colombian cartel where they would come in. These were stories that were told to me by people your age growing up. I'm assuming you just have about 20 years on me.
We got some breaking news here, guys. Hold on just a second. Do you want to jump in on that, please?
Yes, I just picked this up. The House, and this has been published an hour ago. The House rejects push to impeach Homeland Security Alejandro Trader Mayorkas as border fight rages. What a slimy fuck, man. I'm sorry.
It's crazy. Donald, you're up.
Well, to answer your question about the Nikes and shit, Demas, that's all knocked off from Mexico. So don't put too much into that. But yes, Crispy Broccoli, yes, They're getting stuff handed to them as they get off. It's assembly line. You know what happening. But the thing with immigration for me is I think you have to wake up and understand not everybody is wanted everywhere. We as individuals are not always wanted everywhere. And this idea of just because it's American, it's okay, you're free to go wherever you want to go. No, you're not. You're really not. And understand that. It's okay. It's not, there's nothing wrong with that. You're
All
not
right,
wanted everywhere. You're not going to be liked by everybody. So get over
right.
yourselves.
Mr. B, you got 1 minute and we're moving on.
Yeah. Very recently, as recently as this morning, I was watching things on television where people were coming out of their short curly hairs because these migrants, or whatever you want to call them, are now being given prepaid Visa and MasterCards and so forth to go out and buy whatever the hell they want. And they're getting recharged and paid by the government. Our own homeless people aren't being cared for. Our own veterans are out living on the streets and so forth. They're not being cared for. But these people are getting prepaid MasterCards and Visas. What in the ever-loving Christ is going on with this situation? Is anybody paying attention? Has anybody else seen this?
We talked about it all. We talk about it all the time. We talk about it. They're going to keep doing this and running things as long as they can keep churning new programs and reasons to tax and reasons to skim tax out of other programs, i.e. VA and other things. They're going to do it. And
Right.
it secures votes for them.
Yeah.
They don't
Okay,
give a shit
guys.
about anybody else.
All right, we're moving on. The border crisis is always a damning story, and we'll try to cover it as much as possible during next week sometime. But moving on to Taiwan before we end the night, boys. Let's get a couple of videos in and what's on our minds on the way we see it here.
Taiwan is on track to have one of the largest fleets of US-made F-16 fighter jets in the world, with more than 200 of the aircraft to be delivered by 2026. Part of this buildup is because of the increase in Chinese warplanes and ships operating around the country on almost a daily basis. On Tuesday, Taiwan's defense ministry reported 25 Chinese military aircraft flying near its borders. 13 of those planes breached the country's ADIZ, a defensive buffer zone that is not sovereign airspace. To equip the F-16s, the country is investing in new weapons, such as this one, the AGM-154. AGM stands for Air-to-Ground Missile. It uses built-in wings to glide.
It's on your mind, Donald.
I just want to say one thing about immigration real quick. You know, Joe Biden, he put it out there to the Congress and the senators and everybody. If it's such a problem, get off your ass and pass legislation. Yet they've done nothing. So I think, accept the challenge. Please. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say the legislation, though, because the legislation, what I'm hearing from Congress folks, both Democrats and Republicans, it's there. It's just that they're not enforcing it.
But what I understand is Mayorkas, he's in there, and that's when he was talking about the whole impeachment shit. He's like, I don't have the resources to enforce it. So pass legislation and give them resources. Quit fucking around with their funding. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you think it's funding? I think it's just neglect from the man.
You can say it's neglect from the man. They neglected the Border Patrol just no different than they neglected any other federal agency or program. We're at the point now, though, you got to understand it's not just funding for resources, but funding for people to process people to get them to places. Having money or places where they can have them stay and not be so, overburdened and sleeping on top of each other and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff the man's been preaching for. And he's been preaching for technology out there in the fields where that's, hard for the Border Patrol to go, or it's really murky where the coyotes and all them run through. They run smugglers through. They want the technology out there. Give them the drones so they can monitor it. Hire the people to have drones to fly over and around. That's the kind of shit the guy's barking for, and they ain't been giving it to him. So, I mean, really, come on, man.
No, man. I want to keep it there, and I just want to switch to something, and it's taxes. We're always looking for tax money and stuff, and tax this and tax that. So I want to bring up a blue state of where I was born. These pot shops, they were all supposed to drag in massive amounts of dollars. Fuck it, the state has a lottery. That's elsewhere you get monies and stuff. But you know something? That was going to go to the Department of Fall River for Community Health. Have you guys seen the way their vehicles look? Beat up. They're beat up. And look at all the other stuff. Who's taking that pop money and that lottery and that property tax that's going to go up? Don't forget about that. And she's swindling something else, this governor. We're going to give all that free chicken to these migrants. And here our infrastructure is dilapidating right before our eyes. And you want more tax money? Where the fuck is this money going? Donald?
Yeah, Donald.
No, it's going right to their pockets. It's going right to their pockets. All them politicians, a lot of it's going right to their pockets through all their campaign donations, all the companies that give them donations. Yeah, okay, the money, originally tracks through the company we paid the contract to, but somehow, some way, there's always them donations that hit your campaign that turn into, or the nonprofits that you have a share in that get contracts for the government contracts that the other company awarded. It all flows back to them somehow. But
a
a lot of
place
it gets spent out of. But what I'm saying is, a lot of it gets spent outside of the U.S. because we hire outside of the U.S. We don't hire enough inside the U.S.
Case in point, going back to the free monies, and Mr. B was talking about debit cards and stuff. Eric Adams, he's all for it. And you know what he says? He says the money will revolve in his bodegas and stuff. He's right. He's right. That money's going to stay there. But why? Why? It's not that bad in El Salvador or the Honduras. Look again, the military age men. Look what them kids did in New York. I yield. I'm done on this migration. Thank you.
So going forward, we're curious to know what will be the U.S. policy for Taiwan under President Lai Ching-te.
Well, I think the relations between Taiwan and the United States in the last few years, there's a description from both sides. As description is rock solid, and it's a very appropriate description to reflect the state of affairs between the U.S. and Taiwan in all fields, be it economic, be it security, be it cultural, etc. And I think under our new president's administration in May, 20th of this year, the U.S. policy towards Taiwan will continue to be the same, to continue strengthening our existing relations, and also based on common values for freedom and democracy. That policy will not change.
In what particular aspects do you see there will be opportunities for Taiwan and the U.S. to deepen the bilateral relations?
Well, first of all, for example, as you are aware, we've been going through talks of the 21st Century Trade Initiative, and we've already reached the first stage, in which U.S. Congress has already passed that first stage and signed by President Biden, and we're in the second stage of the dialogue for the 21st Century Trade Initiative. The United States has given us a lot of support and assistance on improving our self-defense capabilities. And so I think this will continue on under the new administration.
At this point, the U.S. wants to see the status quo, and the U.S. opposes any unilateral change to the status quo. And after Lai Ching-te was elected, Biden told reporters that the U.S. does not support independence. So I kind of wonder, how is this policy perceived at home?
Yeah, well, in the repeated polls that is being done to the Taiwanese population on what kind of, what the stage, what's the status of Taiwan should be. Should go to independence, to unification, or whatever. I think the overwhelming population, or the part of the population in Taiwan, has said we want status quo. We want the way it is. Neither unification, neither independence. The way it is the way we want to live right now. The president-elect, Dr. Lai Ching-te, he has, during his campaign and during his victory speech, he said it very clearly that he will follow Dr. Tsai Ing-wen's, same line of government policies, be it, also on cross-strait relations, be it international relations or domestic issues, and it will try to find the biggest consensus possible among the population and among parties, political parties in Taiwan, to make sure that this status quo is continued. And he will follow the Constitutional Republic of China, my country, to continue this policy. So he is, I think, every intention to continue the way it is right now, but also offering an olive branch to mainland China by saying that he's also willing to engage with mainland China, but obviously under equal footing, under dignity, and respecting the will of the Taiwanese people, because after all, we are a democracy.
Donald.
Oh, I don't like Biden and the White House and how they've been wishy-washy, because they want to go out there and tell, promote an independent Taiwan that's, free to govern themselves and trade and do all that, self-defend, all that stuff. But then you go back and you say you don't. I don't know. That sends mixed signals, and that's not good, because them two countries right there between, China and Taiwan, that's, I think, half our debt. That'd be, they go together. That'd be pretty bad for us, probably.
Mr. B.
JoJo Jack in a Box has screwed us over with so many different things. I'm not at all surprised that the people over in that area are pretty much have had it with us, and they're looking at us as though we've washed our hands of them, and I don't blame them at all. The problem is now, how long is it going to be before China just turns around and sucks them in?
Mr. D.
I think the suction is already starting, and it's unfolding right in front of our eyes. They're flying into their demilitarized zone, like what they call it, ADIS or some shit. But they're practicing, guys. That's what they're doing. They're practicing for a quick invasion. And that's all I got on that.
I don't think we should have anything to do with Taiwan. It doesn't surprise me that Biden wants to have something to do with Taiwan. Taiwan has always been infamously known for a sexual child abuse free zone. Just last year alone, there were 7,787 sexual assault cases, and 4,520 of them were involving children. That's what was reported, not the ones that went unreported. We should not have anything to do with Taiwan. We should not be helping them until they decide that they want to become a civilized fucking human being country and stop using their children as fucking sex toys.
Hey, Crispy.
Is there data to cover that?
What's your source?
What the fuck you think I read those numbers off the top of my head?
I'm asking for a source or the data. That's all.
Well, every time I say something, you want to, mother.
No,
we know you got it. Just share it. Just share it.
I will.
We gotta be.
So let's talk about this though. If that is so true, where are all the human rights activists and why? Yeah, that's the problem.
Nobody looks at that side of the world.
Right. Nobody looks, but that's the dirty part of just government in general. That's the dirty part. We're just as dirty as everybody else, and we condone that. But, huh?
I'm not saying we're not.
there's other parts of the world. Some of those things are I know they're not to our standard, but
Come
that
on,
may be
D. I got
different.
respect for you. Don't even try to justify it in case
I can't
because
justify
it's
it.
that other
You're
side of
right.
the
I
world.
can't. I can't justify that. There's no justification for that. But what is the purpose of us being over in that part of the world too then? Because you got all of us there in Japan and Marines in Okinawa, and you got South Korea and all that. So what's the purpose of us being there then if we're not gonna
Well, they're
have a
saying
steady say no, we ain't gonna fuck with Taiwan or China. I mean,
what
electronics.
Well, what this article
exactly. It's
this
business.
article is saying that Taiwan is like looking into it. They're aware that it's a problem.
The first ever. It's 2024.
Well, maybe
They've been making movies about Taiwan and sex trafficking since the 80s, and that was
I'm not gonna disagree with you. You had made a statement and you sent us data, and we appreciate that. But what I'm saying is that let's see, they're looking into it. Maybe we're saying to them now, look, man, we know the crazy shit that's going on. We know it's been going on for years. I understand it's late, whatever. I agree with you, Faco. And maybe now they're like, all right, we got to clean this up a little bit, or the United States won't, mess with us. Mr.
So
B?
you're breaking it down to clean up the area, or we're not going to put a casino in that area.
Well, I don't know about a casino, but
Well, it's a reference.
stop-
Anytime they put up a casino, they want the crime rate down.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, understand. To understand the structural factors of the problem, the National Human Rights Commission of the Control Yuan has begun a campaign to discover the reasons for these offenses. Chin said at a news conference alongside Control Yuan members Chang Chu Fang, but police reported 7,787 sexual assault cases last year, with, like Faco said, with 4,520 involving victims younger than 18. Health Administration and Welfare Statistics. So,
and I'm willing to bet a lot of them assaults came from American men that traveled over there for that distinct purpose.
100% agree with you.
Yep.
They even had a comic book with Batman, where it's the only comic book that Batman actually kills anybody, and he goes over to Taiwan to go through it. Matter of fact, Doc Knight loosely references it when he goes to China.
There is a culinary aspect to all of this, and I'm surprised you haven't spoken about it.
What, meth?
No, not meth. That's drugs. I'm talking about culinary, as in food. a very big export product. Cream of some young guy.
Yes.
Oh, B5.
Yes.
Better than the Happy Family.
okay, so this is from Derek. Let's be real. America has no place to judge any place. Yeah, I agree. Priests raping boys, presidents' affairs in White Houses, on and on. I couldn't agree more.
I agree,
Derek.
but there's no way you could justify that. I can't talk shit about fucking Taiwan for those stats. You can't say I can't judge somebody. I don't think I'm better than anybody, but I sure as hell think that I have enough fucking pride in myself that I'm better than a fucking diddler. I hope everybody feels like you're better than a diddler.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Also, I think
Put the lollipop away, Blaze.
Jesus.
Okay. What the hell?
I ain't going
Shit.
next.
I'm telling you.
Here's a question I got. We keep talking about Taiwan and China and all this other shit. How
Okay,
it's
we
gonna
went to
go
sex
over the
trafficking. Go ahead. I just wanted to stay on the economics and
That's where I'm going at it.
Yeah.
What is it that they do? I mean, the chips. I know they do the chips, and there's all these exports.
I got to cut you off. I'm very sorry, bro. We're out of time. We've been out of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everyone who joined the show tonight, that viewed the show tonight. Don't forget to catch us next Tuesday from 7 to 9, where we'll jump back on some of these topics. And Mr. Flacco, you're always welcome back. And with that being said, peace and love to everybody out there. If you got it, be kind. Mr. Flacco, go please.
Y'all have a good night. I will.
All right, Mr. B.
Won't you be my neighbor? See you tomorrow night.
Yes, let's not forget. Okay, the Miss Tammy and Blaze Man show tomorrow from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the FFN Network, followed by Politicking with Mr. B from 8 to 9 p.m. Tomorrow, Wednesday, January 7th, from 8 to 9 p.m. There is going to be, a schedule change on the FFN Network starting next week. Politicking with Mr. B will be on Wednesdays from 7 to 8 p.m., followed by I-12 GIA Real Talk with Real People from 8 to 9 p.m. And the Miss Tammy and Blaze Man show falls on a Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. That information will be posted up on the FFN Radio Network. And
will they still be on Sundays?
No, negative.
Okay.
They're moving to prime time. Okay. Again, Donnie.
Hey, just however we connect, thank you for connecting, and think positive, do positive. Pop and smoke. We'll see you next week.
All right. Good night, everybody. Peace and love. Don't forget.
What about Demas?
No, that's all right. That's all right.
No, D. I thought I had you, brother.
It's gonna be a habit with you.
Go ahead,
Come
brother.
on, Davis, let's sing.
I know, almost 2 weeks in a row.
Come on, man.
Go ahead, brother.
It's hard to follow that, Blaze, when you forget me, but I just want to put out one thing. This next election year, please validate your candidate. Do a little research. Watch us. Ask us what we think about this guy. We'll do the research for you on the show.
Absolutely.
Have a good night, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody. Catch you next week.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact.